Welcome everyone to a DVD special between Blackthorn and Geese Howard as Tzeentch and Khorne going up against Ilmatar and Rebane as Grand Cathay and the forces of Tzeentch. Now we're going to be playing on Broken Leg Gully, which has quite a bit of a narrow pathing here in the middle towards domination point 2, but we do have home objectives which can favour the slow Grand Cathay at times. So as we load in here, we'll be popping over to the other side with Grand Cathay here and Tzeentch. So it's going to be the team Ilmatar, starting with the Jade Warriors at the front. Looks like 4 units of the regular Jade Warriors. Looks like a double silver chevron here and there, otherwise not too much to write about. And also the Terracotta Sentinel, the beautiful boy, unbreakable, causes terror, bucket loads of armor piercing and magic damage. He can thump very well indeed. Double Peasant Archers in the back, and we are going to have a Grand Cannon backed up by the Astromancer as the Lord Choice. So the Astromancer here will be having the Cloak of Po-Me, which actually gives 60% power recharge rate there when out of melee. Also with the Mastery of Element Winds, which is a nice spell that I've touched on. So we are going to have Thunderbolt and the Curse of the Midnight Wind here for the middle. So for the forces of Tzeentch, 4 units of Blue Horrors, backed up by a Lord of Change in the Sky. That's going to be here with the Blue Flame and the Pink Flame. Also here with the Fire Changes whenever we spellcast, 20% physical resistance and good armor piercing damage. Alongside Chaos Fate Weaver in the Sky, and I believe this was during one of my tournaments, so there was no Penumbral Pendulum. So we are going to see the Greater Arcane Conduit, the Fires of Change, also Life Leeching when we cast, which is extremely nice. We're also going to have the Flamestone of Tzeentch, Regrowth, the Staff of Tomorrow, the Scroll of Destiny, the Void Pendulum, the Gaze of Fate, and then the Oracle of Eternity. So a really nice build here, and for the Tzeentch, I believe this is going to be Blackthorn. So we are going to have double Blue Horrors, backed up by Chaos Knights of Tzeentch, more Chaos Knights, triple Chaos Knights here, straight out of the gate, fantastic stuff. We are going to have a Cultist as well. I believe this is also going to be on one of those heavily armoured steeds. We are going to be having Kindle Flame, the Wand of Whimsy, backed up by the Gate of Tzeentch and the Power Stones. Yeah, a lot of good stuff over here with Burning Head. So nice there, coming out of Tzeentch. Very heavily armoured indeed. For the forces of Khorne, on the floor we are going to have the double Cultist, both on horseback, with both here the Gate of Khorne. We are going to have 2 Skull Cannons, backed up by Lord Choice of the Herald of Khorne on foot, would you believe it? The bad boy here just going to be having the Hellblade. In the back, 1 unit of the Halberds, the Khornite Halberds, and the Fleshhounds of Khorne. So very good stuff indeed. It looks like we are going to have a split here from the Khorne and Tzeentch combo. So Khorne's going to push the right hand side here on domination point 3. I did actually think the heavily armoured men of Khorne might want to dominate point 2, as they're going to have more armor here and they can sort of pressure on point 1 a little bit better. But coming forward, we are going to have Chaos Fate Weaver, backed up by the Lord of Change. It's going to be a bit of a painful duo in the sky. Very lucky there's not double Bloodthirsters. That could be extremely painful indeed. So you can see we are going to move forward with the forces of Khorne and Tzeentch. We're going to be a little bit slow, just like maybe just dotting in behind cover. Maybe you don't want to get hit too much here by the pink and blue flames of Tzeentch. I don't quite blame them too much. Blue Horrors are going to charge forward. I think this is going to be a little bit of a skip on. But nice domination in the middle here. So, of course, the 4 Jade Warriors backed up by the Jade Crossbows. No, it's just going to be 1 Jade Crossbowman and 1 of the Peasant Archers. But they're going to come forward with the Astromancer and maybe get ready here to use some Thunderbolts and some Curse of the Midnight Winds to really dominate this middle pocket. So Chaos Fate was going to be in the front. He's going to be taking a lot of the distraction. You see he's got those shields on the top that does regen. So, you know, he can absorb a lot of the fire here coming from the cannons and then just regen that back and not take too much permanent damage. In the back, we have some Chaos Warhounds. A good bit of harass here. Coming up against Jade Lancers. 100 armor for these bad boys. Only 66 speed, so they're going to be pretty slow, but the stats not excellent. Think about those as just Empire Cavalry. In the back, the Chaos Knights of Tzeentch have been summoned to deal with the Chaos Warhound. Seems a little bit over the top, but we are going to build them quite nicely. So good push away there from the forces of Rebane. I believe it's going to be Ilmatar here for Grand Cathay. He's going to be on the cannons, like he does drop off the piece of the cannon. We are going to be getting shot here. Blue Horrors are going to be firing at the top, taking a lot of damage here from the Blue Horrors of Rebane. But he really wants to damage the cannon crew. So now we're going to move in here with the Chaos Furies of Khorne. Lovely stuff. Taking down the Grand Cannon, which was perfectly designed on the ridge here. They will be shooting over to point 3 and in the middle of the chasm as they charge through to point 2. Furies coming over the top, and so we are going to support with the Jade Warriors. the Jade Lancers, should we say. It's going to be just Jade Warriors on top of Horsemen. But yeah, they're going to be doing quite nicely in here. They're going to hopefully hold off the tide of Furies that are dawning down on the Grand Cannon crew. Chaos Knights of Tzeentch will dawn into the middle to hopefully fight here. It's going to be a mass Chaos Knight off. And these boys, yeah, they really thump very, very hard indeed. 120 armor with bronze shields, plus that shield on top. The nice magical shield, I believe it's about 800 when they're at 100%, which is very, very painful indeed. So it looks like here we have some halberds on the ridge ready to go. They've completely dominated the top side. Domination point 1 has been captured here from the Grand Cathay side. So unfortunately, Domination Point 3 hasn't been captured from Khorne. So a little bit behind there on the tickets, getting 100, maybe 200-300 tickets in total here as a bit of an advantage. Forsaken now are going to be summoned, and these bad boys do magic damage up against demons. They're going to do some lovely work indeed. They have 63 weapon strength, great charge bonuses, immune to psychology, and down comes Carrios Feet with the Skull of Destiny has been activated, and yeah, he's going to be butchering. Great armor piercing here for the man. Not a brilliant melee combatant, but he can do some good work indeed. On the floor, yet again, more charges. They're actually going to get, they're going to allow the cycle charging here of the Chaos Knights as they thump through up against the blue horrors. Bit difficult to tell, but of course the purple ones here are going to be on the Khorne side, and the blue ones here are going to be on the side of Cathay. So in the middle here, looks like we are going to get the side of Grand Cathay with their cavalry to charge out here with the Chaos Knights. Chaos Knights are going to be thumping up against the Jade Warriors. These are going to be the double silver chevron variety. Don't quite know what stats we get for this one. It's going to be +5, +4, and +5 there on the melee stats. Halberds charging down, and they'll do some lovely work. Oh, I love the animations here of the Terracotta Sentinel. He's absolutely beautiful to watch fight. Definitely one of my favourite in the game. But we are going to be charging with halberds. They're going to be meeting to fight in the grind here. The Herald Khorne is going to be charging through. Curse of the Midnight Wind, a lovely area of effect here. 35 meters of -24 melee attack, -30 armor. That's going to be very nice here in the pocket. We are going to get a summon in the back. Oh, a lovely clutch D-summon there to pull them out, so the Bloodletters have no way to pressure in that back line. In the middle, Bloodletters are going to be absolutely destroying these Peasant Long Spearmen. And we see the Astromancer is going to be getting his hands dirty. He's got a pretty nice design as well. I love that cloak. And this guy's going to be not... Oh, the animations! Absolutely love it. My dude's been using all sort of kung fu kicks there in the middle. I absolutely love that. But unfortunately, the cannon crew here has been dealt with on the top ridge. That's going to be 900 points down the toilet, unfortunately. But we do see Chaos Knights here charging forward. So Rebane really wants to push up the battlefield, get some pressure on these Exalted Pink Horrors. We also have some Screamers in here, but a nice summon of the Great Longmar Riders. The Legends of the Sky with those... beautiful lances are going to do some great damage. 75 charge bonus, 110 armor. These boys can thump very, very hard indeed. On the floor, the Exalted Pink Horrors. So the Exalted do actually come here with a buff to mana with the Arcane Mirth. That's going to be giving plus 20% there. I don't believe that's just going to be extra regen rather than extra reserves. But we can see the Chaos Knights with Tzeentch. They're going to be just fighting here. They don't really have any armor for the boys in pink. So sadly, they're going to be falling rather quickly to the Chaos Knight pressure. So very nice stuff there from Rebane. Now with the Great Longmar Riders, we could charge forward and compromise quite a few units in the middle. It's going to be 1, 2, 3 blue horrors stacked on top of each other. We do have some Furies coming out as well. So Great Longmar Riders, they're butcher Furies for fun. There's absolutely no way they can do very well here. We're dominating the sky very nicely here coming from Grand Cathay and Tzeentch. But the Halberds are in, and the Halberds are going to be fighting up against the big chicken in the sky. Also the Soul Grinder, the boy here with the flaming sword. Very nice. He has 800 armor piercing missile strength as well, and that precursor missile. He can fire with that big left hand and just cannon most things into oblivion. But he's going to be fighting very strongly here up against the Lord of Change. Going to be butchering all levels of hit points here, and that little shield has been gone, and it's looking pretty dire here for the Lord of Change. He's not looking too good. Halberds are going to be catching the middle. Khorne now is potentially going to be having 2 on the battlefield. So 2 against 1, but it's going to be 1,800 here to the side of Cathay, up against 1,100 to the side of Khorne. In the sky, we have double of the Furies, and we actually get a summon of the Do Knights of Tzeentch. The legendary heroes here going to charge after Carrios Fateweaver, and he will suffer here to the might of the heavy armored Chads. These boys do float on their discs really nicely. 105 speed, 100 armor with silver shields as well. So you bring as many Jade crossbows as you like. These boys are going to resist it for weeks. Plus also coming on top with that shield that can regen. Oh, it's an absolute nightmare to take down these boys if they continuously keep cycle charging. So firing in the sky, we do get a summon here of the Grand Cannon here, wielding, ready to go, looking absolutely glorious, I must say so. Jade Warrior Halberds, pretty expensive to be looking after this unit, but, you know, can be doing some quite nice stuff. Oh, lovely ability here coming out of Tzeentch. That's going to do a phenomenal amount of damage. That's, yeah, very, very nice stuff indeed. That did over 25%. That's actually going to be a D-summon, as we see the Furies. This has been very, very clutch here, coming from Ilmatar with the Grand Cathay. Yeah, very, very strong stuff. You can see here, unfortunately, not going to be able to de-summon these crossbows in the middle, as they are going to be getting shot by blue horrors. But they're going to fight like two Chads in the middle that they are, and they're going to be holding very, very, very strong indeed. In the middle, the Herald of Khorne is getting butchered here. The double chickens, KFC has come strong down here on the Khorne Knight forces. We do have a Cultist of Khorne. He's going to be fighting as well. He can do some good work, 460 weapon strength, when we do have that Frenzy activated. But unfortunately here, the Herald, he's going to be running, but he's got a chicken on his backside, and he's not too happy about it. Over here at the top, we do actually have some pressure from the Jade Warrior Halberds. They're going to be fighting up against the Chaos Knights from my boy, the Blackthorn. Blackthorn needs to get these out. They're going to get butchered really, really hard. Anti-large, armor piercing, and they've got pretty good armor values, and they don't have too much armor piercing from the Chaos Knights, so not particularly great environment for them to be fighting in, but I love the green. And yeah, this is fantastic. Love to see Grand Cathay really getting in there and doing all the good damage. No, the boy fell. Oh, what a heroic death, I'm sure it was. But unfortunately, we didn't see it. But, you know, he went out strong. In the middle, Khorne is still going to be holding. It's going to be 2 against 1. And now we are going to be taking the lead, coming in here for the forces of Khorne. Grand Cathay, though, could come in with a resurgence. We do have Jade Crossbows, backed up by Jade Lancers, more Jade Warrior Halberds, and also we are going to get the spawn of Tzeentch. The legendary heroes here for Tzeentch, which do have armor sundering, really important for a faction that doesn't have much armor piercing outside of their flamers. Backed up by Forsaken, these things will shred anything with 30 less armor, and they'll shred it really goddamn hard. They're going to be faster than the Forsaken of Nurgle at 46 speed, so they can get around the battlefield rather quickly. In the middle, we have some Forsaken of Tzeentch backed up by the Chaos Knights. They're going to be fighting up against the Cornflakes. And these bad boys, so they can fight. They're not particularly great up against armoured foes. What sort of weapon strength are we talking about here? So they're going to be 10 armour piercing, so not terrible for 750 gold cost. So they can do some work. The Forsaken, you know, they will do okay. They will do okay. But up against halberds or the dual weapons, you know, those berserkers, they will suffer for sure. So we are going to get a rear charge here. The Forsaken from the Blackthorn going to be rear charging the Knights of Rebane, doing some lovely work here in the middle. Spawn are going to be armor sundering, down to 70 armor here for the Chaos Knight halberds. So we should be able to rip through those nice and efficiently. In the middle, we are going to have the Soul Runner. He could shoot, he could scoot, and he's going to have a big sword into the backside of that spawn of Tzeentch, but he does not care for any measly sword of Khorne. Actually, maybe he does. Maybe he does. So we do have some Screamers. They're going to be fighting here up against the Cultist. Halberds in as well, and it looks like it's going to be the Jade Warrior insertion into the middle as the brave forces of Grand Cathay meet up with the sneaky Tzeentch as we come onto the Khorne capture point. Now, if we get in the middle here, it's going to be 3,400 up against roughly about 3,000 points. So it's pretty damn close here in the middle stages. So the Lord Choice has been pushed here to the middle. We are going to get the Chaos Knights. They're going to charge forward. Blackthorn is a big advocate of bringing his Lord Choice in units, which means just one of these little models is going to be the Lord, and he's going to thump right into the flank of the Jade Lancers. Lovely work there. Moving on top of the Blue Horrors, backed up by the Flash Hounds, and we're going to be tearing apart in the middle. So this will be, I'm going to get the Flame ability here, which I believe will be coming from the Tzeentch forces of Rebane, so the Grand Cathay side. So lovely damage here in the middle. It's actually going to catch its own Forsaken, but it does really make the forces split up here of the Forsaken, the Cavalry, and the Flash Hounds have to get away from this big damage area. Looks like there wasn't too much damage on his own forces, so he should be able to fight here, but lovely, lovely work coming from the side of Khorne and Tzeentch just to make sure that we're not in that area of effective damage. So Blue Horror is going to be charging to the top, the big blue boys of Rebane, going to try and see if they can keep their home capture point here and, you know, fight to the very, very end. It's going to be a really, really close game here, 3,000 apiece, and it looks like we are going to capture the middle here for Tzeentch, Rebane, and Grand Cathay. So it looks like we have the Doom Knights fighting up against the Jade Warrior Crossbows. They're going to do some lovely work indeed. We do have some Peasant Longspears coming to really add to that infantry pool to keep the capture point in the favours of Grand Cathay. We have some great Longbow Riders just butchering Furies for fun here on the side. We do actually have some broken units of Tzeentch on the flanks. Flesh Hounds are going to be charging around. Looks like Khorne is going to be holding this point, but good pressure from the Jade Warrior Halberds. We have some of the Cornflakes. They're going to do quite nicely. Look at the colour schemes here going up against each other. This is a fight of Chads of old for sure. And they're going to be fighting very strong here with the double chickens. Really like the double chickens. They've been holding very well. Plus, we also have regrowth. So we keep these nice big KFC chickens going for a good period of time. So we do have some Chaos Furies and Tzeentch in the sky. They can certainly swoop down. This is very interesting. Both are going to be side on side as we have Halberds and the Jade Warriors just kind of, you know, walking into each other gently. And now we are going to get a Cultist. He's going to be using the Power Stone on the side. That's going to give power reserves increase plus an 80% power recharge rate. Well, looks like we are going to resummon the Herald of Khorne. He's going to be charging up to top to get a bit of a leadership buff and some good melee stats. In Middle Forsaken, backed up by the Spawner Tzeentch, will be charging in. Maybe trying to see if they can butcher some of the Jade Warrior Halberds. Actually, probably just go off the regular Jade Warriors. The Halberds would probably actually finish them off. In the middle, Tzeentch are going to have some very, very good control. They do actually... Do they have the home one? No, this is going to be in the control of the Blackthorn. So the Blackthorn's going to be holding point 1 quite nicely. This is a super close game here. A lovely late game push. They recognize they lose the middle. They push on to point 1, which is what I thought they might do a little bit earlier on. You can see just a wave of purple coming forward. Blue Horrors really trying to get on. They need to push and go, 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 go. But unfortunately, it might be too late. We are moving in with the Great Longmar Riders. They might be able to push off the Blue Horrors. Curse the Midnight Wind has been activated here, giving negative armor and negative melee attack to really hope that they can butcher these forces in the middle and overwhelm and push them off. But at 4,900 against 4.2k, this has been a fantastic 2v2 here from the DBD boys, and it was an absolute pleasure to cast on live stream. But here, ladies and gentlemen, you get to see it with absolutely no lag. So what an absolutely excellent game here coming from both of these teams. It was really, really enjoyable to cast on live stream. Sadly, there was a bit of lag, so we didn't get to see it in its full beauty. But I really, really enjoyed this game. So from the triple Chaos Knights of Tzeentch, we got 1.6, 550, and 900. So very good performances there. 625 from the Cultists of Tzeentch, 360, and 200. And from the reinforcements, we did actually have the Herald in the back pocket. He does this quite a lot here, Mr. Blackthorn. He quite likes this method of playing, which, you know, is down to the player for sure. And, you know, he certainly does it very, very well indeed. But 700 here for the Doom Knights, not quite performing, but they did have some health left, but not quite performing to the level that you'd hope they would do. But 1.2 for the Forsaken, 300 kills for 900 damage value. Jesus Christ, that's a lot of Blue Horrors, with 880 and 690 there for the Exalted Pink Horrors. So 630 for the other Forsaken. We did see some of the Flamers. I didn't see them for very long. They only got 170 damage value. That's probably why I didn't see them. But 78 and 0 here for the Blue Horrors in the middle. So for the Herald side, for the Khorne Knights, we are going to get 550, 270 and 280 for the Skull Cannons. Yeah, they can really drop off, especially when you've got good mobile pressure. When you do come in with the forces here, when you have flying forces like Great Longmar Riders or Furies and etc., they can just butcher Skull Cannons. It is really unfortunate, but 600 damage value for the Khorne Knight Halberds, 1,250 for the Cultists of Khorne, 740. Really, really powerful Cultists in melee combat. 705 for the Flesh Hounds, and for the reinforcements, 1,970 for the Soul Grinder of Khorne. Seeing this thing being used more and more in the multiplayer scene, which is very, very nice. I did at the beginning think it was actually pretty garbage, but actually maybe it's really making me want to use this a little bit more and see what sort of application it really has here in the multiplayer scene. But 620 for the Halberds, 280, 970 and 840, so good performances. 920 and 650 there for the Cornflakes. 200 and 0 there for the Flesh Hounds. 142, 1,200 from those, very good stuff. And 16 there for the Chaos Warhounds. So, from the side of Ilmatar and Rebane, we are going to get 680 here for the Astromancer, 1,700 from the Terracotta Sentinel, only 2 damage only for the Grand Cannon, really great pressure, great knowledge and awareness on the battlefield just to shut down this big model. We've got 260, 311, 188 and 207 for the Jade Warriors. We did get the Peasant Archers in at 100 and 950 there from the Jade Warrior Crossbows, very strong. So 0 from the Shogun Lord of Yin. Didn't manage to see her on the battlefield. We saw 907 here from the Great Longmar Riders. 803 from the Grand Cannon. That was the one that was spawned secondly there, right at the back. So very, very good work. 707 from the Jade Lancers. 1,050 here from the second unit. I do quite like them. They're very, very good roadblocks. And they can be quite difficult to deal with if you do not have good armor piercing. 850, 608, 330, and 0 here from the Jade Warrior Halberds. 320 from the crossbows, with 430 and 210 for the Peasant Long Spears. So from Fate Weaver and Rabane, we are going to get 1,000 from the Karioth Fate Weaver, 1,875 from the Lord of Change. Very, very strong. Haven't seen this used too much. Only seen this once here by a Rubber Duck in one of the earlier tournaments here we had with Turin. But very, very strong. Quite like this combo. Very devastating with regrowth indeed. 770, 830 and 340 with 530 there for the Blue Horrors. These boys are an absolute nuisance for sure. 1,800 for the Chaos Knights with 700 and 400 for the Spawn of Tzeentch. 900, 920, 715 and 640 there for the Forsaken. With 260, 1,700 for the Screamers with a silver chevron, 650 for the second unit, and then 600 from the Chaos Furies of Tzeentch. So guys, I really hope you enjoyed this. I really do hope you enjoyed some 2v2s. If you do feel free to leave a comment down below with all your thoughts and opinions. And if you want to see more, do let me know. Leave a like and subscribe on the channel. Both really do help very, very much with the growth. And then also, just allows it to become, allows the channel to be shown more on YouTube so more people can hopefully see and enjoy these games. If you haven't, do check out that description. You can find all my other social media platforms, including that Twitch that I have, and then also Discord. So I've been your boy Logic. Take care of yourself during these times, and I'll see you all very, very soon.